welcome. On this video, I'm going to be doing a socialization exercise with Tiny. Tiny's here for service dog training. And Jackson is out here to help me playing the role of a visitor, somebody who wants to be able to pet on Tiny. Now here's about the thing with service dogs. Oftentimes you see the dogs with the sign saying, do not pet, based on, again, you want the dog to keep good focus. Within this system of training, the focus is on creating a high enough level of focus that if somebody wants to pet your service dog, now that's not something that perhaps you're going to be doing all the time, but if you're somewhere and there's a child or something who wants to pet your service dog, you know, training's going to be such that you're going to be able to do it without the level of focus shifting away. How this works, again, is off fading in properly through specific interactions that's going to change perception from dog to human. Now this interaction, you can see in a second, I'm going to frame this up. It's the push-pull technique, so I'm going to be doing the push-pull to bring Tiny under a reasonable level of influence that she's going to come into agreement with, as Jackson walks in to get close to pet Tiny. Now this is, again, this is just the beginning stage of this, so the goal here is not for Jackson to put his hand on top of Tiny's head for this part of it here. This is just to get Tiny to begin to relax so that you can start to think about getting closer. So here in this exercise, you'll see me setting this up. So I'm going to create an angle here. In a second, I'm going to kind of line this up a little better. And I'm going to switch over to the flat collar too. So flat collar is good because then it levels up the level of influence. The pressure collar is called a choke chain. For this type of exercise, you don't want that type of influence that way. Even though this is proactive for what's reasonable, the flat collar helps keep things aligned properly, okay? And what you look for in this exercise is making sure the dog is not tense. If I see any sort of fixation or tension on Tiny's body, I know that's the time to just stop. Because here's the thing, if you're not certain with some dogs, okay, you want to use a muzzle for this exercise. I'm not using a muzzle, I'm just being really intentional with keeping this safe and knowing that where Tiny's at. So this is all about doing an exercise in a very intentional way. So I'm going to move around here. I'm going to kind of line this up a little better. I want to create a bit of an angle so that you want, when you do this exercise, you want a bit of an offset angle so that Tiny has to turn her head towards Jackson, which is what I don't want. Okay, so how this works is as I do the push and pull is going to create a inwardness. Okay, and this is the whole thing. When you look at the picture of fade in, you know, as Jackson moves in a minute, as I'm doing this, I will increase the level of the technique, okay, to correspond to how much Tiny wants to invest. Okay, so I'm staying ahead of the curve of her mind. And you'll see this, how this reconciles, because as influence takes hold and she comes into agreement with it, it changes the focus, her focus. Okay, her focus shifts inwards towards me. So I don't want her looking at Jackson. I want her just aligned this way and inward to me. And as she does better, because she's more accepting, then I can start to think about facing straight on. Okay. But even in this exercise, the first goal is for Jackson to be able to touch the top of her head. And how I'll line this up is just to slowly do this. This type of exercise I'll be doing over the next few days progressively, okay? So here, I'm going to start in this exercise. Now, as Jackson begins to think about coming in, see what I'm doing? Say, come on in, Jackson, a little bit. You'll be able to see how this works. You'll even see her eyes shift towards me as I assert some influence. Come on in a little bit more. As it comes in more, and I stop, then she'll try to stand up. That's just a reaction of how she's expressing a little bit of control. I'm going to bring her in a little bit towards me. I'm assessing her level of conflict here with the technique, okay? Again, I want her to be agreeable, but there's going to be a little bit of resistance here. But that'll be my stopping point anyway, okay? When I get a certain level here, I'll think about stopping. Come in a little bit more, Jackson. Right there's good. So right there is pretty good to start, right? Same thing. So what I'm doing, I'm just pushing and pulling. And so what I'm communicating through this method is I own Jackson, basically. Okay, I'm reshuffling the deck. And from here, it's always helpful to finish off before he steps back, because I'm going to add a down onto this. to put her in a down position right near him. Now bring her back up to a sit, sit. Bring her back into him a little bit here. And this is why you'll see dogs that, and we'll hang out here for a second, why you see dogs that will be in conflict, because they want to be in control, okay? If I let her go right now, that's not to say that she would bite Jackson, okay? She'd be very agreeable maybe to jump on him or invade his space, and but it's about control. Just like, it's all about me being the parent, or it's coming through me, okay? So therefore, you're seeing some conflict because this realigns how she is meeting Jackson. It's being defined relationally on the pivot point now, okay? Dogs pack animals, okay? So I'm establishing that. She knows what I'm doing. She knows the intent here. So again, this goal here is just to get her relaxed a little bit more, Jackson. Have Jackson in a little bit more. As he comes and see what I'm doing, right there's good. And so just inching it slowly, inch by inch. Always be careful you do this, because you'll see dogs suddenly flash over. Trust me, she can do that, but you always have to be paying attention to the dog's body language. How relaxed are they? This is a stress relieving type of exercise, okay? A little bit more, Jackson. Right there's good. And he's really close here to her. Now I'm doing by pushing and pulling. I'm saying I'm defining the interaction, but the point of contact, okay? All right, Jackson, you start to step back. As he steps back, I do the push-pull, so she doesn't think that she's gaining control through that she's causing it. I always make sure that you're in control of this exercise, just like normal, right? It's like a visitor coming into your home, because what I'm communicating to her is, no, I'm in control here. I don't want you thinking bad thoughts. I want you to be accepting as a follower to me, okay? Great, Jackson. All right, thanks. Good. So I'm just going to tap her as Jackson exits here. So again, it's a really great exercise. You'll see she's a little bit, even after the exercise, right? A little bit more kind of not so agreeable, right? Because this is a big deal. Understand this type of exercise, because she was reactive, okay, but prior to coming here, in terms of humans, okay. And so this is about communicating to her is that as a service dog, okay, I want her to be totally as a follower in terms of agreeable to people being able to touch her, knowing that it's being defined through me at a relationship level. So again, this is a very specific exercise. She did really well, considering she was somewhat reactive before, and now she's already starting to become more agreeable, releasing stress. This is like a stress relieving type of exercise for her. But again, it's about what's reasonable. So when you do this, you have to just kind of nudge forward a little bit. You have to keep the level of influence. You want to maintain that level, keep it going. But it definitely has to go up, okay, to stay ahead of the curve of her mind, okay? So it affects the direction of her focus, okay? But understand there's also a cutoff point, okay? When you sense that, I'm pushing and pulling pretty hard, and it's going beyond what I would define as reasonable, and it's bringing a lot of conflict, you need to stop prior to that, okay? Because this is a progressive exercise, okay? It takes time. It's like bridge building. So and here's the point of the exercise. It's not about the person petting on the dog, okay? It's not about that. Okay, this is about relationship. This is about me fading in. So don't make it about the person coming to pet the dog. Make it about, you know what, let's do it the right way. This needs to be just slowly bridge building so that truly your dog is in a really good state of mind, okay? But this is a specific exercise to accomplish that, okay? In terms of being agreeable. People want to use treats. They want to establish a type of agreeableness that way to a relationship level. And the problem with that, okay, is the dog can be agreeable, but still be holding a level of control in the relationship. So again, this is very specific to make sure the dog is truly releasing control and you're fading in the right way. Thanks for watching.